Super Plus.
Greetings and welcome to the Hills of Steel 1 Tank Breakdown series. I'm your host Andrew, and today we're bringing another tank in the series. We're going to be taking a look at something a little larger than life, the Scorpion. This is one of our few legendary tanks available in the game. You'll notice from the statistics that overall the Scorpion is quite strong, but a very slow moving and low armor tank. It also comes with a multitude of different abilities, which we're going to see when we get into the action. All the standard boosters are available. We're going to be equipping the rapid reload so that you can see how it doesn't work with Scorpion and how it is important to use the right booster. As always, the tank itself can be leveled up with cards and coins. We're going to be leaving it level 1 just so you can see what it's like right out the gate. As always, it comes with 3 skins, the Gold, the Light, and the Corrupted. The Corrupted looks amazing, so let's unlock that so we can play with it. Of course, don't forget, customization of your driver is always there as well. Now that we're ready to go, let's now jump into some maps so that we can show you how Scorpion works, the best ways to use it, and some of the drawbacks of it. Let's jump into our normal map, Midsummer Siege. So, as we mentioned, Scorpion is a relatively slow tank. Both forward and backward, it doesn't traverse the terrain as quickly as some of the other tanks. Its shooting abilities, you'll notice there are 2. The first one is a poison shot. It is a single shot that when you fire out, it will hit the tank, do damage, and it will also do a poison effect, which will then cause the tanks to lose damage over time. It does have a very fast reload. It's one shot and then reloads instantly, which is why, as we mentioned, using the right booster is important. So using something like rapid reload does get you a little bit of a quicker fire speed, but it doesn't make drastically that much of a difference. The second attack is the Scorpion Sting. This will use the Scorpion's tail to attack in a melee range on any tanks that are within reach. That means that moving forward, we're able to use our poison shot to be able to take tanks down at range, but then if they get too close, use our Scorpion tail attack to be able to take them down. Both attacks do a good amount of damage, which means that usually you can take tanks down in almost one shot. The range of the poison shot is fairly decent. You'll notice that there is a small arc to it, so it fires in an almost straight line, but does dip off a little bit towards the end. With the hitting of the poison shot, you'll also see that there is an effect that will, when it explodes, does a little bit of damage around it as well. So if, like some of the other tanks, you hit the ground, you can still do damage to the tanks, but obviously direct hits do the most. Another thing you can do with Scorpion, however, is because you can't take too many hits compared to some other tanks, you can play it safe by hitting the tank, backing up so that the poison does a little bit damage, and repeating. We were able to do this to Thunderclap, hitting him with 3 shots as well as with the poison, and he was never able to get close to us. This is a good way to play if you want to stay safe on Scorpion. Of course, as you level Scorpion up, it becomes stronger, and then you'll be able to take more hits. With the poison shot, there is one drawback. Because it is in a almost straight line with a dip off towards the end, it means that hiding behind hills isn't going to work very well for you because the shot won't get up over the hills, and because the Scorpion tail sting isn't really for ranged, it means that when you stand behind a hill, you're not likely to hit the enemies. Also, because of the size of Scorpion, it means that it's going to be likely that they will be able to hit you from behind the hills, and you won't be able to do anything in return. So, whenever playing Scorpion, you're going to want to get over the hills and get into the face of the enemy so that you can get your poison shots off, and use your tail sting if needed. We noted that the armor on Scorpion isn't incredibly great, so you need to be very careful whenever you're pushing in, doing your poison and doing your scorpion tail attacks. You'll notice that after just 3 tanks, we've dropped incredibly low. So always be careful when you're pushing forward into multiple enemies. It's usually best to stay at range at that point and use your poison attack. Of course, when we talk about the terrain, we also need to mention how it has advantages and disadvantages against certain types of tanks. One of the other issues that we have with some tanks that are mainly focused on the ground is air units. So let's jump over to our other map, Jungle Patrol, to actually take a look at how Scorpion deals with some of the air units. In this map, there is a lot of hills, and as we have talked about with certain other tanks, if you are more a close range melee based one, you'll notice that we're not able to actually hit the tanks that are in the air. So anything like a helicopter, a helibomber, or any of the bosses that are in the air may prove to be quite a problem. Our tail strike is not going to reach them. Even if we're on a higher up hill, chances are that we're going to miss. So that means that we have to use our poison attack to be able to take them down. But because of the almost straight line with the dip off towards the end of the shot, we really need to use the hills to our advantage. In order to get the shot up, we need to be at the right angle and the right height to be able to do the damage. Another thing to be careful of with Scorpion, which you're going to start seeing happen on screen, is that when you're actually on the hills and air units are flying above, the helibombers will typically drop little airstrike bombs, and it'll immediately hit our tail because of the size of Scorpion, and we will have no chance of being able to attack them or move out of the way. So you need to be careful that when certain air units are coming in, particularly the helibombers, that you're not going to get caught by any of the bombs that they're going to be dropping. This is probably the trickiest part of playing Scorpion, so it's always careful to be sure that you're going into the right map, that you have units that you're able to deal with. In a lot of cases, the Scorpion may have a few problems with air units, but it's not impossible. So, overall, what have we learned? Scorpion is a strong tank, but at its first level, can only take a certain amount of damage, so you need to be careful when you're pushing into a lot of enemy units and going up against air units. The poison is able to do a lot of damage, as is the tail strike, so use both of them to your advantage in the right situation. Whenever you're dealing with air units, make sure to use the hills to your advantage. The terrain is going to be key to taking them down, more than anything else. The terrain will also not be to your advantage. You can't hide behind it, so you're going to need to learn to be a little bit more aggressive with Scorpion. Get up close and personal if you want to use your tail strike, but the best thing to do is to use your poison strike from range. Also, don't be afraid to play things safe. If you feel more comfortable sitting further back and just using your poison to take down enemies at range, then that is completely viable. And also, make sure to use the right booster that suits your playstyle. In most cases, something for more survivability might be ideal with the Scorpion because you want to be charging in and are going to be taking a lot of damage. This concludes our tank breakdown for Scorpion. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the content we have coming out. Follow our social medias and join our Discord. There you'll be able to participate in giveaways, chat with other fans of the game, and even share your fan art. If you play Scorpion and have any hints or tips for new players of the tank, let us know in the comments below. Until the next time, have fun, and we will see you on the hills.